Definitely going to need them. Once more into the breach. Morning world, welcome to Tuesday the 8th of October, and yes, it's pitting down rain again, so that's what we had last night. It stopped this morning at 8 o'clock, so I very kindly sent my guys off to go and do a conifer hedge, and they're not going to be happy. In fact, they're going to be bloody soaked. So, but I've set the ball in motion, so I can't really bring them back. It's not pelting down, it's just depressingly wet. Right, so when they get back from that, they're probably going to be back on logging again. I'm probably not going to send them out again. We've had a run on our firewood, so it's not going to do any harm to cut a bit more, and they're going to want my tractor, because the 695 is still over at Dad's. My plan for this morning for me was to get underneath here, lift the mower up, wash the mower off, change the blades, unset the belts, basically put it away for the winter. I don't think we're going to use it again. Problem is, I can't find the box of spare blades. I'm going to have to go and get some. I don't really want to wash it off out here and get that dirty, because this is where I do my wash. I kind of don't really want to do any washing until the concrete gets done. So I think what we're going to do, we're going to take this off, and this is going to be a job you lot can remind me of in the winter months when I'm thinking of what can I do today. It'll be a case of put the mower back on, wash it off, change the blades. What I might do now though is unset the belts. In other news, as you're aware if you watched yesterday's video, we penned off this bit of yard and we put the cattle feed rings up in here so that they can have a solid ground to stand on to have some feed. And literally this is 12 hours of rain. 12 hours. They came in here last night and it's already pooey. What to do? I think I might actually, I can unset those belts with the machine off. I think what I might do is actually take the mower off and put it indoors, because if I put it in here, I kind of have to, I'll have to move it again. Yeah, I'll have to move it again. Can't put it up in this corner because I've got some straw coming back, and if it carries on being wet I might have to put some straw in there. May also want to put some hay in there, and I think for the time being maybe the tractor in there as well. So skid steer can be moved, and I think the mower, if I move that as well, I could put the mower in there. Yeah, it's a bit tight getting round in here, but it's doable. Let's bring the mower indoors. Easy as that. I got a little trip to Stroud this morning as well. Got to go and pick up all the light fittings for the big sheds. So I know I've mentioned it before, but basically I'm going to put new lights in that shed down there, new lights in this shed up here. I'm going to take those strip lights out of there, and I might put two in here, either facing down that way, which I think would be enough because of the light up in there. So two in here to light up this end. Gonna sort out the bulkhead light over there. Sort out the bulkhead, well that bulkhead light will probably stay. He's okay because that's a LED anyway. And then we're gonna order also, well that's what I'm gonna go to the wholesalers, and I'm going to ask them about strip lights to go out here, because they're not exposed directly to the weather. They're out of the rain, but will they? If I put two 4-foot LED strip lights up there, I put 2 up just in case one fails. That's the plan at the minute. Strip light there, strip light there. That will light up this yard. I could take the power feed from off that old PIR. I could just replace the cable from the switch to that, and that can switch those. I might put that on a photocell, so it might be a case of cable up to the top of there, fit a photocell up on the roof up there. In fact, the photocell really ought to go that end, because that will get light sooner than this end. Sun comes up over there, so yeah, it'd be an extra 10 quid in cable, but I'll probably save that in 10 years with the lights going off or on sooner or later, or whatever. Anyway, let's put this thing away. We're going to take the mower off, because when the lads come back, they're going to want the tractor, and it's going to be a lot easier for them if that's not on there. Plenty of space there. Right, we'll put the foot down. We can come back a little bit further yet. Right, that's that bit done. But I will recover my balls. Even though it's quite likely that they'll be on here next time to move this again, I prefer to keep my balls where they belong, in their protective box. It is 10 o'clock. Right, I reckon cup of tea, got a stroud. So you may have noticed, if the camera panned across this way, we had our second load of stone, crushed, recycled type 1, delivered yesterday. Unfortunately, it arrived while I was upstairs. He literally turned it. I just got out of the shower. If you remember yesterday, I got I had a little bit of an accident. Oh, it's wet. Oh, I'm soaked. Yeah, I know you've already seen it, but So I whistled to the driver out the window because he was parked up with the drive. I thought he was going to reverse and tip it in the front yard. He was actually only getting it to open the gate. So I did take a little bit of video with my phone from the window up there of him tipping that out. This is that bit now.
Lovely job.
Yeah, so there you go. We got our second load of stone in, third load of stone actually. That will hopefully be enough there with what was left over to finish shaping up in there. We've more or less got that shaped, but I want to bring this corner up a little bit or drop that corner down. Oh, we're not quite, it seems to me we're slightly bowed. I want everything to run that way. So yeah, I think we've got to bring up another 3 or 4 inches over here. So, which is going to cause me a bit of a problem because I reckon we're going to have to make an adjustment on this door. I think we're going to have to get Tim to refabricate that door and cut 6 inches off the bottom of it. Or we have some more hinges made and bring it, well, it might be just as easy, do you know what, just have a couple more of these done and bring a door 6 inches up. Yeah, do that. I'm also probably going to have to take that off there and cut that off there, because if I don't, I'm going to crack my head on it. Right, I was just sitting down with my cup of tea at my computer. I'm going to order some blades for the mower, and then I had this doubt. I'm pretty sure it's a Select 660. So I'm just going to go down the barn and just double check, make sure I'm not imagining things. I've only had it 20 years. So it's written on the belt guard at the back. I can actually do with one of those as well. I might go on the parts list and order a new one of those. That might be a good idea. And maybe set of belts. I was thinking of taking it. This is the original belts in here. GMD 66. So yes, it's the Select 66. So do I just spend a couple of hours on this and just basically refurb through the whole lot? Not painting or nothing, but new set of belts perhaps, because they are 20 years old. Complete set of blades. I changed the gearbox oil. Was that this year or last year? So we checked the gearbox oil, but that should be all right. I can top that up should it need be. But yeah, 24. So it's 18 years. I think I bought this in 2006. Where's the plate? All right, there you go. Yeah, 2006. I bought it brand new, basically in there. I don't think it even really came off the lorry. I think it came from the manufacturer to CFM and straight to me. So yeah, 18 years old. Still quite old for a mower. Original belts. Third set of blades, I think. Right, Biscuit and I are off to Stroud, to Wilt's Electrical on the Bath Road Trading Estate. To pick up some electrical stuff, lights and that. And Matt, the Sparky, is coming in to see me this afternoon, somewhere between 4:45, or was it 4:45? Quarter to 4, I think. 4:45 and 4 o'clock he's coming in. So we'll have a wander around with him later on, and I'll show him what I want to do, and he'll tell me I've got it all wrong. No, you won't. Here you go. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. Brilliant. You should have been a Sparky, Ian. You let me know if you spot a squirrel, all right? Look at the cows. Are you? So we're just crossing the Selsley Common now, where local farmer grazes his cattle. which is fine. Apart from the few idiots who use this road as a racetrack, and occasionally there's a collision between like a black cow and a fast car, and it never ends well. So yeah, if you're coming across here, just take it steady. It's not a race. That's it. We're in squirrel territory again now, just in case. I decided to come the scenic route. What? You look like you've had your head out the window. Look at the state of you. Not screw fix. Rexel. There we go. That's what we're looking for. Right, I'm loaded. Big old roll of cable. Right then, so in here we have got 4 of these fellas. I've already got 2 because somebody sent 2 in for me. Very, very grateful for that, thank you. We've got a roll of armoured lighting cable. I know it's the expensive way of doing it, but I only ever intended to do this once. So armoured cable, 150 metres of that. And then we've got various switches, various things, and these are the glands to go in the switches for stuff. So yeah, 500 quid, and that was trade. So I think the cable was probably most of that, although these guys, they ain't cheap. I mean, I looked them up on eBay and they're like 60, 70 quid, but you can adjust the output on them. So these can be 90, 120 or 150 watt. So, you know, I can make them cheap to run or a bit less cheap to run, whichever suits. Right, well, the Sparky beer this afternoon. We'll have a wander down there. I've looked at LED strip lights. They do fully, well, he said they're waterproof LED lights, and they're the same price as the non-waterproof ones. So I said we'll probably put a second order in for them. I think we're going to go with 4 4-foots and 2 5-foots. Look at the state of it. It's absolutely slinging down again. So it's 1 o'clock. The guys will be having their lunch, and I think what I'm going to do, because that's where it's coming from, is I'm going to give them the choice. They can stay here and go and log up some firewood, or they can go home. I mean, what would you do? They're piddling down the yard. Thank God for the trains. I think it's a choice. Yeah. Again.
I just need to get the
oh yeah, your important cup of tea. Is it is it out in the yard logging, or is it go home?
Yeah.
I'll go and ask them and see what everybody wants to do. All right. Okay. All right. Okay.
Hello, Jeepers Creepers.
Jeepers Creepers. So this afternoon.
Don't tell Mark, he's going to run off, isn't he?
All right. Shall I whisper then?
You got to do some logging, Mark. What? It's a bit Douglas-y fur. I don't know.
Eh?
It's a bit Douglas-y fur, the bark.
Is that the one where he gets it stuck?
No. We've been looking though, back at tree poles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's quite a few
Well,
of
a
it.
cherry picker, and he aimed it toward the boom.
Did it?
Yeah.
And it's
Oh, so it's not just you then? Yeah.
Whoa!
cheeky bit, eh?
Where's Stewie then?
Well, you got bacon butty.
Oh, is he?
He texted his mum and said, bacon in the egg. She said, yeah.
He's gone home for a bacon butty.
Yeah, bacon egg butty.
Is he bringing one for you?
No.
Yeah. Do you want one of them, do you? Hey.
Well, no, it just looks cool.
Eh?
Just looks cool.
Well, because we've got air conditioner or heated cab.
Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Big old comfy seat in there.
Yeah. All right. So you're going to go home then. All right. I don't blame you. It's bloody horrible out there. I mean, the yard's going to be running. Yard is running with water.
Well, first do what I do it.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Okay. All right. Do you know I bought that 10 years ago? Yeah.
Works.
Yeah.
Still works.
I reckon you could torture Mr. Pierce with that.
Yeah. Is that probably the same bit that you bought with it?
It came with a whole packet of bits.
Yeah,
so
Martin said there's some bits somewhere. But
yeah.
He said
Well, you can get Dremel bits.
over there.
But yeah.
I think he said that's the cheap one. There wasn't like an expensive one apparently as well. But
Oh, I don't know. I think there's another one there. There's a blue one somewhere.
it's done a pretty good job.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You reckon that does better than the sander?
I'd say.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You can sort of get more of an edge. Than
Okay. Whatever works. I mean, I used to do it with a bloody
a bit big.
Yeah, I suppose. I used to do it with a file,
Yeah, flat file.
flat file. So that's how I used to do it. Yeah. All right. Well, Martin's decided straight away without even thinking about it. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Okay. No worries. I'll see you tomorrow then.
Yeah.
Unless it's pissing down again. So it's kind of official. It's too wet for farm work, definitely field work, and it's kind of too wet for tree work as well. And there's no need, if you don't have to get bloody wet. And I haven't told the guys yet, but I think the plan is next year. These barns, in the summer months, might well put the logging in there. So even in one side, so like right now, if it was wet and we had our firewood in there or in there, now we've got a bigger roof area, especially if I put lights up in there as well. Yeah. And then with the concrete floor, once the cattle have to come in, well, we just move what's left with the skid steer. Sawdust can stay on the floor, that won't matter, and the cattle can come in. So I think next year the guys will be happier because they can do logging in here. So that's the plan. Right, so out this side, still some moisture underneath here. I mean, this hasn't been compacted down properly yet. And a bit has blown in that way. So we may next year do the Yorkshire boarding across that gap there, just to slow it down a little bit. Won't be this year, we've spent this year's budget. And to be honest, I think for what we've spent for this year and what we're gonna get, or what the cattle are gonna get for it, I think we've done really well. So always gonna be room for a bit of improvement. But if I did it all this year, I'd have nothing to do next year, would I? They look quite happy there, don't they? Thing is, it's still quite mild. I mean, it's dropped down a couple of cold nights, but it's like between 12 and 16 degrees in the day. The grass is still growing. Speaking of grass, Pigeon Mead, I'd cut that headland yesterday. I've had a chat with my neighbour, Val, Uncle Val, as her brother calls her, very rudely, and she's going to put some sheep up there. So there was no point, there wasn't enough crop up there to make it worth my while cutting it, wrapping it, or baling it and wrapping it. It just wasn't enough. But there was too much. I didn't want to just top it off and waste it. So I rang Val this morning and said, would you like it? She said, oh yes, please. So that's the plan. I'm going to get Val's sheep to go in there and convert my long grass into some nice manure to help the grass next year. Proper job. Right, here we go again. I've got to take a quick trip to Kingswood, village just down the road. Their parish council asked me to look at some tree wood for them. Sent me the request on the 30th of September. Oh, I forgot. So they've got their council meeting tonight. So I need to kind of get on and do it, even if it is raining. Right, well, we've had a load of rain, as you can see. My brother's rung me from Itchington, from his place, and said that they had 2.5 inches. This is what he told me, 2.5 inches in about 10 minutes. And all down the back of him is all flooded. All the culverts are overflowing. His fields are all swimming in water. So it kind of makes me feel better for sending the guys home, because they wouldn't want to work in this. So, right, Kingswood, here we come. And of course I've timed this just right to meet all the kids coming out of school. So there's going to be parents and cars everywhere. Problem is, I need to do it now because I got Matty the Sparky coming in 3/4 of an hour. So I can't leave this till later. Road always floods there, so you've got to be wary going this way, because there's going to be traffic coming on your side of the road. They can't help it, it's just the way it is. It won't help a lot, but a bit. Right. Yew tree over the path, which is down there. Lawson cypress is there. And that'd be the magnolia over there. That's a 2-minute job. Little tiny bit of pruning on that, nothing very much. And I'm assuming that's the yew branch just there. That is an English yew, or Taxus baccata if you want me to sound clever. Right, if I bought the secateurs I could have done it now. Okay, maybe I was looking at the wrong yew. I think maybe it's this one. A little bit more than secataire. Right, still only 10 minutes though. Take longer to get it out. Right, that's it. Back home, type it up, send it off. I might even treat myself to a cup of tea. Yeah, let's go home. I think there's going to be more than a bit of local flooding today. Actually, I think I'm going to go up round that way. So the road, because of the rain, the road was absolutely chock-a-block with mums and dads picking up kids, which I don't blame them given the weather, but it did make it difficult for me to find somewhere to park. I had to walk a bit, which is why I'm wet. Right, well, that's right across the road here. I can see a stream running down the middle of the field. So, you know you had it bad when you can see a stream running down the middle of the field. Yeah, looks like Matt's here already. Oh, he's keen. I came in, and there was no point in staying out there. So, Matt the Spark has just been in. He's going to be in not next week, the week after. We've gone through all the requirements in the barn. We're basically going to more or less rip out everything that we had down there and start again, because not everything was in armoured and not everything is up to what we would call spec or code or whatever you want to call it now. So basically we're going to redo all of it. It'll be a few quid, but like I said to Matt, I'm only going to do it once. So we'll do it now so I can see concrete and spark is, and I can see it all happening in the same week. We'll see. Got a little ocean forming down there.